At what age did you sort of start training at a club or realise that, your future was going to be in football?
Oh, complicated question, that one, H. Well, put it this way, when I was, 9 years old, 10 years old, I didn't know anything about football. Grew up in a single parent family, other than my granddad who was a rugby player, there was no sort of football interest. And my mate at school, who I used to go, he lived around the corner from me, Nan. So I used to go around there after school. He was in a year below me, and I used to go around pretty much every night. We'd do whatever we did. And every Thursday, he wasn't in. And like an idiot, I used to go around every Thursday and knock the door. It was just one Thursday, his mum turned around to me and said, he's gone football training. He said, she said one week, how old are you? And I went, 10. She went, hang on a minute, when's your birthday? I said, August 1st. She went, hang on. She was a club secretary because his old man was I say club secretary, I mean, his old man was the manager of the team. And my birthday on August the 1st was on the deadline day. So she said, you can join his team. So for me, it wasn't about playing football. It was just about knocking around with my mate on a Thursday after school. So I ended up joining his team, Welling Pegasus, who were rubbish. I think the first season we let in 160 odd goals. It was
Was you a goalkeeper, Dave, or was you an outfield player?
Well, I was a goal. I mean, the actual start of football actually was at school. Forgive me. Same age, so I never played when I was younger than that, and I was just outfield. Games going on around me. Lad who was in goal was letting everything in, so I thought I'd be able to stop something. Went in goal, stopped a few shots. People went, "Oh, you're good." So I thought, all right, I'll just go in goal then, and that was it. And then obviously the next bit, as I say, joining my mate's team, and then joined another team, Pangzanga Yellows, and got called up at 12 years old to go to Tottenham. I spent a year at Tottenham. You might remember this, but they used to train in the old car park, indoor car park.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those bizarre things. It's like we're footballers, but we were going in this car park. So me and my mate Solly went into Tottenham for a year. We played one game against Watford. Rod Thomas scored 5 goals.
Lost
6-3. And I thought, okay, well that's my football finished. And then Tom Wally at Watford asked us to go over to Watford, and then went there the next week. And that was it. That was the start of my path. But with regards to actually thinking about football careers, I didn't even think about it until maybe 15. I signed YTS at 15.
Great football man, Tom Wally.
Oh, one of the greatest guys in football.
Absolutely. What a character, Tom.
Loved it.
He's seen some kids come through at Watford over the years.
Yeah. Lovely guy.
Yeah, where you used to train at Tottenham, that's where I started out as a kid, Tuesday and Thursday nights. Going down there, getting on a bus, getting another bus, getting the train. 11 years of age, going there Tuesday, Thursday nights. It was a different world. My dad never had a car, so you just make your way there. It seems, with another kid who came from East London. But very, very different now, Davey,
Absolutely. Well, we used to get sometimes get the bus, sometimes get the training from Welling Garden in May Solly, yeah. I
remember seeing you, Dave, one day at Watford. I can't think, I must be managing West Ham or somebody at the time, whatever. And you were there and someone said, this kid's and I spoke to you, you wouldn't, and I went, cool, you're built for the job, that's for sure. I looked at you, I thought, what a physique he's got, and it always stuck in my mind, this big lad he looked the part, and I thought, yeah. But so what age did you break into the team there, Dave? Was you?
Well, as I say, it was a funny one because even at 15, signed YTS, and at the time, I'm sure you remember this, there was a lot of football hooliganism around the country.
Absolutely, yes.
I was a Luton Town fan. My uncle took me to Luton when I was young. And then Pegasus took us to Luton. One of those things, your schoolboy team would take you to watch a game. So for some reason they took us to Luton, and because of that I became a Luton fan. Anyway, there was a lot of violence. I saw a lot of violence myself because I used to go to a lot of games. I didn't really follow football in a big context, as in, wow, Liverpool are the best team in Europe and Man United are great and all this stuff. It was just like I'd go and watch Luton and whoever they were playing. So all this football, I just thought at some point the government are going to have enough of it, and in a very, very naive way, thought maybe football would come to an end. And at the time, I had a chance going into athletics because I was doing high jump. So at 15, when Watford offered me, Graham Taylor offered me a YTS, I thought, do I do high jump where I could become an England high jump record holder, or do I do football? And the YTS offered us, I think it's £24.80 or something a week and free food. And I just thought, wow, I get fed and I get a bit of money. So, yeah, and that was it. That's why I took on football rather than athletics. So
you could have been a Dick Fosbury.
The Fosbury flop.
Fosbury flop.
Yeah. But that was it. And literally, I went into football doing that because I was getting fed. And then the year before, the season I made my debut in 1990, Tony Cohen had gone to Man City for £1 million, I think. Mel Rees, the late Mel Rees, was, I thought, the number one, and I was just sort of making up the numbers. And literally, the few days before the first game, Colin Lee was the manager, said, "Oh, you're playing Millwall at home," and it was like, hang on a minute, I've had sort of one pre-season game and I'm straight into the first team. So not in a good way. It was just kind of like, how long is this going to last? So I made my debut at 20 against Millwall, lost 2-1. Teddy Sheringham claimed a goal which didn't go in. It was, VAR would have been good then. And then it was just game on game, H. You know what it's like.
This free trade investment app is terrific. If you've ever thought about investing, this is a great way to start and to grow some wealth over the long term. It's so simple, anybody can use it. Come here, I'll show you. You can buy and sell stocks plus ETFs with none of your high commission fees you might get elsewhere. It's commission free and there's no hidden cost. Brilliant for beginners and experts, the free trade app is trusted by over 700,000 investors. Even better, if you register and fund your account via freetrade.io/Harry, you get a free share worth between £3 and £200. Oh yeah, and don't forget that when investing, your capital is always at risk, meaning your investment can go up, but they can also go down. Other charges may apply. And goalkeeping coaches, Dave, when you first started out, did you have a goalkeeping coach?
John Pratt at Tottenham.
Yeah. Midfield player.
Yeah, and I think it was on Question of Sport once, or some show came on, and it was talking about John Pratt's score. I said, "Oh, my goalie coach was a midfield player for Tottenham." I didn't realise that. Then Watford,
and he was only about 5'8" anyway.
yeah, diving around on crash mats in that car park. But who did we have at Watford? We had Alan Hodgkinson.
Oh,
late Alan Hodgkinson. Yeah.
Now look at him, Dave. Look at Alan Hodgkinson, 5'10".
Yeah.
England goalkeeper, 5'10".
Yeah.
Back in the day, Eddie Hopkinson, who played for Bolton, I think he was 5'9". It was like Ron Springett, who was a great keeper. Ron Springett, one of the all-time greats. I think 5'10.5" again. It's completely amazing when you look back at him. Even Pat Jennings is not that big, Dave, is he?
No. Well, I used to get me my Panini sticker book and look at the sizes of all the goalies, and you're right. I mean, 6'1" was a big goalie back in the day.
Big goalkeeper. Yeah. Oh, he's a giant. He's 6'1", this keeper.
And how big's Courtois now then? 6'5"?
6'5".
Courtois, he's about 6'6". Asmir Begovic, 6'6". Czech was 6'6". Yeah, they're monsters. Absolute monsters.
But in them days, Dave, the goalkeeper, you was the manager, the goalkeepers would go off and just train on their own, really. Then you'd call them over when you want to do some shooting. So they'd go in goal and everybody would be smashing balls past them from about, setting it up, setting it back, bang, and then balls whizzing in, And that was it, really. That was they didn't have any, I brought Mike Kelly into West Ham. He was the first time I'd ever used a goalkeeping coach. And he used to come in like a couple of days a week and work with the goalies 2 days a week. The rest of the week, they were there when you wanted them in goal for a 9-a-side or 10-a-side or a practice match. Other than that, they just trained, with each other.
It's interesting, Age, because so Alan Hodgkinson used to come in, I think, once a week, maybe twice. We had Pete Bonetti, late Pete Bonetti came in, and he said to me, Pete Bonetti, he went, "Look at you, look at me." He said, "I can't tell you how to do everything because we're just different." He said, but if you can take anything from every coach you've got, then you'll become a better goalie. And as soon as he said it, I was like, okay, that makes sense. So Pete Bonetti was amazing. We had Bob Wilson on a few occasions. So it was kind of like this little rotation of goalie coaches. But what you said is such a good point, because you go to Liverpool, they didn't have a goalie coach to begin with, even though when I signed, they said they were going to get one. I said, Ronnie Moran. Like I said to him, oh, when's the goalie coach? And he went, goalie coach? He said, do you think Ray Clements and Bruce Grobbler had an effing goalie coach? And I was like, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, but you still said I could have one.
So, Harry, tell me about your time working with David then.
Well, what happened? I mean, David was at Man City, and then suddenly I didn't know about Joe Hart. I mean, you know, he was a young kid. Obviously, Dave would know better than me. But David's the number one goalkeeper in the country, and suddenly someone said, I think you can get David James. I thought, well, how can you get David James from Man City? And sure enough, I asked, I think Stuart Pearce was there, wasn't he? I asked Pearcey, and he went, yeah, we would sell him. And I couldn't believe it, really. I didn't realise that they obviously thought Joe Hart was going to be, you know, which he became the England goalkeeper. And so, yeah, I took David, and I mean, it was incredible. And it was like, and I'm not saying it because he's here. You know, when you're a football manager and suddenly you get so, I used to go home and sleep well at night, knowing that I've got David in goal. Yeah, I swear, that's how the game was. I mean, we won the FA Cup. We went to Ipswich, got spattered for 90 minutes, I think. Dave made save after save. We went to Preston, got battered there, and Dave saved a penalty about 5 minutes to go. We went up the other end and Herman scored. It was amazing, you know. We'd go to Old Trafford and win. And, without JMO, we certainly wouldn't have won the FA Cup. Do you know what was amazing, though? I don't know, Dave, was you there on the Sunday when we went round the... Yeah, you turned up. A few of them never. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, I was really disappointed. That was one of my biggest disappointments, yeah. A couple of them said, oh, we're going... You know, I think probably Lasana Diarra was one of them. There was a couple of them who said, oh, we've made arrangements to go home. I mean, after the game at Wembley, and didn't show up for the following day.
Did you know that it was on South Sea Common?
No, I didn't realise it.
The thing that made me laugh about that, so we're all hungover because obviously we've celebrated winning. Then we're on the two buses, and I thought we were going to the town hall. Not that I knew where the town hall was, but I thought we were going to town hall like the usual thing. Parade. And as we're going through the streets, I think it's like three men and a dog walking around. I actually said to myself, our Portsmouth fans can't be that bothered. Yeah. And then we turned the corner to go into South Sea Common, and it was like Invasion of the Zombies.
It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
They reckon there's 200...
the funniest thing, Dave, was when I got the freedom of the city at the town hall, and I'd left the day before and gone to Tottenham. That was the biggest nightmare ever. I got it on the Monday. I'm getting the freedom of the city of Portsmouth, and on the Saturday I go and I leave Portsmouth and decide to go. And on Sunday, Tottenham play. I imagine Tottenham for the first time home to Bolton. We beat Bolton. On the Monday, I've got to go back to Portsmouth, who I'd left 2 days earlier to get the freedom of the city. And there's some people up in the public gallery shouting, "You Judas!" I'm sitting there, and there's all the dignitary and all the players turned up. These couple of them started throwing eggs at the coach. They thought I was on the coach. Oh.
What does freedom of the city get you?
I think you can walk your sheep through the town centre or something. You know.
I think you can cross a bridge with your sheep. I'm not sure where the bridge is though.
Brilliant, Dave. Thanks ever so much, Davey.
Pleasure, H.